Morning, my friends. MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa here. It is a cold one, and we still have what I would call the two coldest days that we've had so far this winter on the way. But the cold spell will not last long, and I will show you that. So let's get to it. Here's what it looks like this morning, and we're looking at temperatures right now in the single digits, pretty much all across lower Michigan, except northern lower, some clouds, few lake effect snow showers. So a little bit milder, if you will. Now, here's the wind chill. And fortunately, we don't have a whole lot of wind out there with these cold temperatures. Hey, good morning, Sherry Eastman. Good morning, Frank Griffiths. Thanks for watching. And good morning, Kelly Martis from Howell. Love the Howell area. Awesome area. So here are the wind chills. Southern lower, couple of degrees below zero. We can handle that, right? It's winter here. Up across the UP, wind chills about 20 below. Now, let's get into what's going to happen and a couple of stories here for you. Three things really to watch for in this weather situation. First, the cold weather, coldest day of the season for Thursday night, Friday night. And then quite a warm up. And as far as weather systems go, maybe one weather system next week, and I'll show that to you. So here's the European model. Now, what you're looking at is 6-hour precipitation amounts, the pressure pattern, and more importantly, good morning, Don Clark, R&R Farms. More importantly, the upper level temperatures at 5,000 feet. So you see minus 14, minus 16, minus 18, minus 20. That is actually the temperature in Celsius at about 5,000 feet. So it's a gauge of how cold we're going to get. And you'll see when the Arctic front comes through, we get cold. So today is a pretty quiet day. And the sunshine, as Carmelita Tiffany mentions, is very nice. But this is tomorrow afternoon, and you can see the packing of the isotherms, the temperature lines. And by tomorrow evening, that Arctic front has rumbled through all of lower Michigan. And look at the cold air pouring in. That sets off some lake effect, but not a real good wind pattern for lake effect. So on Friday, southwest corner, around the Traverse City area, eastern part of the UP, you get a shot of lake effect, probably 2 to 4 or 5 inches in isolated places. Breaks down quickly by Friday evening, and then already by Saturday morning, a southwest wind and warmer air starting to come in aloft. And by Saturday afternoon and evening, we've gone from minus 20 Celsius at 5,000 feet up in southern lower Michigan to minus 2 Celsius. So a dramatic warm up. And then eventually we feel that at the surface. Now, this is Sunday. Another little glancing blow of a cold front kind of shifts the cold air back. Let's see. Pamela Todorov. The Climate Prediction Center says longer term warmer than normal for us, but look at that strange way the warm swath is across the eastern side of the U.S. Why that pattern? Why that pattern is because the cold air is going to move out to the west third of the country. A trough of low pressure will develop there, keep them in wet weather, which they need, and then a ridge blows up over the eastern half of the country, and that's why that kind of pattern exists. So this is Monday, and look at the warm air pouring in ahead of a frontal system that will develop along a front, very typical of actually almost an early March type pattern. And then this is next Wednesday. So our next weather maker, so to speak, will be sometime Tuesday or Wednesday of next week, and that moves off. So actually a fairly quiet precipitation pattern here in the next 10 days or so with one storm system. This gives you a look at what type of precip. So here's in our cold air, the Snow showers right there, the lake effect snow showers. And then here is Monday, and here's Tuesday. So the system comes in and we're mild enough for rain, and then it's advertising snow on the northern part of it. We'll have to see if there's enough cold air for that to actually exist. Snowfall with the cold air and the lake effect, I'd call it 2 to 5 inches in the very southwest corner, northwest corner, eastern part of the UP. That would be Friday. And then next week, it wants to take this strip across northern lower Michigan. Hey, good morning, Cassopolis and Roy Swinehart and Kelly Reddington from Cadillac. So we have to look out 7-8 days before we find another snow across lower Michigan. Let's go out 10 days and look at that. Saginaw, Grand Rapids, Ann Arbor, Detroit, Lansing, Kalamazoo, the Thumb. Not much snowfall. Flint, maybe a trace or an inch or so. All right, now let's get into the temperatures. And like I said, we're going to have the coldest air of the season coming. And that sounds kind of ominous, but it only lasts really like 24 to 36 hours. So here we go with the high temperature forecast. Now, obviously, today it's cold now. It's going to rebound to the mid 20s. And then tomorrow, southern lower, low 30s. And then Friday, high temperatures in the single digits. That might be a little bit cold, but regardless, it will be a cold, cold Friday from the get-go and right on through the evening and overnight. Now, Saturday, back to 34. So we go from single digits Friday to low 30s on Saturday. 30s on Sunday, maybe 40 in Ann Arbor and Detroit area and Oakland County. Monday in the 30s. Tuesday, ahead of that storm system. Hey, Leslie Stark, the groundhog does it on February 2nd, not February 1st. So he hasn't come out yet, and who cares what he says? Let's look at science. So this is next Tuesday. Looking at almost 50 in the Detroit, Monroe area, Ann Arbor, mid to upper 40s, Saginaw, Flint, and Grand Rapids and Saginaw in the low 40s, even Traverse City flirting with 40, even Alpena flirting with 40 degrees. And then Wednesday, 50 to low 30s in the north on the backside of the storm. And then look at behind the storm system. Usually cold air comes down. Behind the storm system the next day, we're back into the mid 40s. And 10 days out, Friday, February 10th, we're in the upper 30s. All right, now let's look long term. So what you're going to see here is you're going to see out 10 days, you're going to see the temperature anomaly. So how far warmer than normal or colder than normal it is above the normal high temperature. And you'll see a lot of red on here, meaning we're going to stay warmer than normal. So let's just push through this here. So, this is Thursday. This is Friday. Obviously colder than normal by about 20 degrees. I've told you, I've warned you. Friday, Saturday morning, going to be very cold. And then look how quickly that cold pushes off. And by Sunday, we're 15 degrees warmer than normal. And Monday, warmer than normal. And Tuesday, much warmer than normal. By Tuesday morning, 25 degrees warmer than normal. Remember, this is historically our coldest time of the year. February 9th, next Thursday, warmer than normal by 15, 20 degrees. Next Friday, the end of the run, February 10th. And any cold air in sight? No, there isn't. What do I have lined up here? Okay, this goes out 16 days and pretty much the same deal. Warmer than normal conditions. So this is the weekend where we go warmer than normal. And then this is early next week, Monday and Tuesday. And then this is next Wednesday. That's, 10 degrees warmer than normal. And then this is next Friday. This is February 11th, 12th. And this is the pattern that's expected to settle in. When you look at this, hey, good morning, Kelly Monroe. Yes, Sue Christian, it has been mild. I'm working on that for Michigan. It looks like anywhere between the 3rd and 7th warmest January, depending on where you're at. But this is important. This is February 13th. Cold air in the west, warm air in the east. That's a trough in the west, a ridge in the east. And as we go out to 16 days, February 16th, that kind of pattern continues. Climate prediction centers, extended forecasts. Let me get them so that you can see them. 6 to 10 day, warmer than normal. 8 to 14 day, much warmer than normal. 3 to 4 week forecast, made last Friday. They only make it once a week, warmer than normal. That takes us out to February 24th. So you get the hint. Now, I want you to know, I'm not saying winter is over, but after Saturday morning, it's going to be hard to get below zero again. If we're going to take it out to the last week in February and still not see any cold air in sight, then we're talking a pattern change would have to change in March before we would get back to wintry weather. And I do think March is usually stormy and sloppy. And so if we get a little bit of a pattern change to go to colder than normal for a while, we could get into ice storms, we could get into snowstorms, but the brutal cold is probably done for the winter by the time we get to this Saturday morning or so. That's about it. Thanks for joining me on the MLive Morning Weather Update. I'm MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa. Ice fishermen and women? Nope. Start getting the boat ready. You might be using it sooner rather than later. So take care. Thanks for joining me and have yourselves a great Wednesday. Take care.